All right, I'd like to call tonight's planning board meeting for the town of Pompey to order. You could stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everybody. I'm Sue Smith, the planning board. To my far right, Ron Young, John Shaheen, Secretary Sarah LaJudas. To my left, Doug Cook, and Dan Bergovitz. Will Frizzy is absent this evening. And Calipari also absent. Yes, town engineer. Yeah, we should know. John Dunkel. Amelia McLean Robertson, town attorney, and our codes officer in the back, Tim Sparrow. And thanks to Alex for the electronic wizardry. Yay. So, okay. First off, a review of our minutes from last meeting. Anybody have any additions, changes, corrections? Hearing none. Your motion?
I second it.
Okay, motion approved, second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. First of all, tonight on our agenda is the Person subdivision application. This is a preliminary review of an application for subdivision to divide one 2.076 acre lot. Lot one off of 9.96 overall parcel, remaining lot two, located at 3287 Henneberry Road in the town of Pompey. Tax map ID number 12-2-12. 4.0. Okay. Application, Matthew.
Mel, how are you? Good, good. Yes, I know, it's not fun to come up.
Ellen Olmstead representing.
Yes, Matthew Person.
Okay, what do you got for us?
You appropriately described, he's got a larger parcel of land where his home is. He's subdividing off a 2-acre section for sale. He's had it surveyed, he's had the DOT's letter. I think you may have copies of that. Maybe not, I've got a copy. Saying that it meets the site distance and the percolation and the septic that's been submitted to the county. I'm not sure if it's been back here yet, but I know it's approved. We'll get copies of that. We go for
Sue, I can confirm that the septic has been approved. I just don't have the copy.
Okay.
But I've been in touch with the county.
On the new lot?
Yeah.
Okay. And
You should have some larger versions of that someplace. I can't read it.
that's the, looking where the driveway was.
Yeah, the larger versions are rolled up.
So it's Adeline on.
That's my dog.
Holy shit, she's not here.
Nope.
Okay. You can do that. One new way. That's.
You know?
Yeah. Fine.
You can read
Your
that.
eyesight's better.
It's got a readers on.
You have a larger one, you have another spare, oh, you got all 3 of them?
There's actually.
You want one of those?
All right.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Oh, that's what we're looking at. Tim, that was approved? This-
Yes, yep. I just haven't received the copy. It was approved Friday afternoon.
Okay. Anything?
You have a copy there, the files? Oh, yeah. Yeah, the card.
Yep. Yeah. Pretty straightforward to me. I see you punching numbers. So I see you punching the figures there.
No, I'm just looking at, I think it's got a blow up the, trying to figure out where the well is, where the proposed well is.
I don't think you put any proposed well in there.
That would be something we don't have at this point.
Yeah, I don't know that, do we need to show that on it? Proposed? I don't think we have a knowledge of where a house would go yet. We don't know where a house would go on that one yet. We did a percolation and
You see the perk test in here.
Well, there's a diagram for proposed house, septic field, proposed
oh,
well.
good. That's the for the septic. That was the septic plan that was submitted, so he had that. We could show that on the map if you require it. That's part of the approval that was submitted to the county for the septic.
So usually we talk about three things per building lot. And obviously, two of them to take care of the driveway and septic and well, would be the third.
Yeah.
You got anything, John? Comments?
No, I mean, there's plenty of room. They need to have, if the septic field is going where it's shown on the plan, they need to be 100 feet away. And there's plenty of room on the lot, so. That would be something that Tim would have to review when they come for a building permit.
Do you have the letter?
DOT?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of nice, just about everyone's here. That's what we do that.
Thank Adeline. She made sure it was,
And that
and Tim.
looks complete. Good.
Straightforward.
Yeah, yes, very good. Okay. Oh, yeah, no public hearing next month, advertising, you can look at Sarah and the.
All right, yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. It's beyond, what is the hearing?
Third Monday, which will be.
And the letters need to go out by when? We get them to you and you send them, or
I'll send you all the
Okay.
names of the neighbors for you to send them to.
and they get receipts?
And then you can do like a notarized letter stating that you know.
Well, they all have to do the attorney.
No, notarized letter, no device.
Yeah, or mail or something.
Yeah, if it's on the application. I'll have it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, what was that?
I'm sure that you can use.
The first and these.
Yeah, that would be, I'll
You got a card?
I.
You want me to send it to you or to?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because he's not.
okay.
The address.
I can probably find it like on your website or something.
Okay. Yes, it's there.
You need any of these back, Alan?
I'll take one.
I'm gonna keep one for the spot.
Anybody else want to give up one?
You can have this one. I'm thinking about this for.
Perfect.
You have a thing of order. Nice, thank you.
We'll be here on Monday.
Okay, next on the agenda. Springside Farm Site Plan Review. Preliminary review of the site plan to allow for the building of an agricultural structure for animals in hay storage located at 1850 State Route 91 in the town of Pompey. This is tax map ID number 030.03-11.7.
Yep.
Please.
It's just an animal barn. The only reason that it's even here is because it's gonna be open to the public. We've outgrown our current,
What's your name?
oh, my name's Travis
Trevor.
Drexler. We've outgrown our current animal barn and just with the incoming of some new animals, we're looking to make it a little more friendly to the public and a little more accessible. That's pretty much it.
So for site and review, it's been quite a few years since anybody represented Springside Farm here for a site plan. We're aware that different activities are going on and buildings have been built since then.
Mhm.
So we pretty much would like to update your whole site plan.
Sure. There's a separate parcel that's makes it. Yeah, it's fine.
Separate parcel.
Hi.
Is it on here?
That's actually two separate parcels.
But it's still for site plan
Yeah.
can be
Yeah.
all encompassing over the one
Mhm.
parcel,
That's fine.
so.
We have full permits for everything we built though, so it's not like we're trying to do anything sketchy.
No, I understand that, but also there's a lot of different uses going on there
Mhm.
as far as site plan since first came.
Sure.
And we want to make sure that everything's within the code, but also like traffic flow and there are things that change along the way
Yep.
or if there's different activities going on, like food serving or whatever. I know what we were told years ago and
And we're inspected by the county health, so it's.
Right.
So it's, yeah, that's, how do we go about setting up that review?
So first thing would be to go into the code. Copy plan. And there's a code for site plan and it gives detailed info for what we need.
Okay.
It's the first part and there'll be diagrams, sketches, layouts, traffic flows. Ingress, egress, that's changed somewhat over the years. With that, hours of operation.
What egress has changed over the, I'm sorry. We haven't added or eliminated any doorways anywhere.
No, from the road, it's the last time was here, they had in and out and they didn't own the parcel next to it. And there
We
was,
still don't.
okay, but also in just the diagram, the traffic flow.
Okay.
It's there.
Yeah,
Okay. It's more just to help and reduce the chance possibly of some kind of accident or something, that the things that we look for. As far as, okay, driveways, the widths, the commercial, whatever.
Mhm.
The parking. Is that still over the septic or the backup septic field.
Never.
It never has been on any sort of septic ever.
Some question that early on. Comments from others up here?
So this building is just exclusively for animals,
And hey, yeah,
the vets or anything like that.
no. Unless you classify shoveling manure as an event, if we can make it, if you want it.
Or you could sell it.
This village is your shelter, because you said no, it's not hooked to any water supplies. or
Yes, it's just shelter.
Okay, so
We have a size besides small barn.
32 by 48 with two 10-foot lean-tos, making an overall footprint of 52 by 48.
Let's go back over that again, first part.
32 by 48 enclosed with two 10-foot lean-tos on either side, making the overall width 52 feet wide.
In presuming. What is that barn?
I'm sorry?
This, in this barn up here,
Yep.
I know I've been in it for craft shows, whatever, but also that you host weddings
Mm-hmm.
in there. Okay. In the site plan, asking for in general, what your hours of operation would be with that. If there's music, will any of the music be inside or is that outside?
I'm sorry, what building are we talking about? The wedding barn, the big barn in the back? That's,
That would be part of the site plan.
it's 10:30. I mean, that was decided by the town for the music. We didn't even decide that.
Inside, well. Decided by the town, but the last site plan that we did for your farm. That farm was not part of the site plan,
Okay.
okay? We're asking, while you're here, to please update the entire site plan. So that. In that case, okay, you called it the wedding barn, okay, which is fine, but we're just asking to know. Are you setting the hours on that everything's being outdone by 10:30? Is the
Yeah.
music
Yeah.
inside, always inside?
It's done. 10:30. It's done.
Okay, so just give a written narrative, including that in it.
Okay.
I'm going through on that.
Anything else?
I'm
Anything
just
else?
reading the minutes.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware any of that was on the agenda tonight. I'm sorry. I wasn't really prepared to do any of that.
Looking.
Since it is
My
a
memory, if I.
site plan application. So, that's what I took it as.
Trying to read.
So the original site plan approval was for events in the barn in front.
This looks.
Do any, all your barns have labels on them to identify particular barns?
There's, I mean,
For mainly public access, by the way, ones that are accessed by public.
for the most part, I mean, well, actually, the wedding barn is actually the harvest barn. The train station is
So they
the train
drive-
station. Yes, but they
Yeah.
are labeled.
They include those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
History. It's a public facility. You need to update your site plan, it's not. It's not current use, it's just like we're doing for others.
It's not your average farm.
Tim, you got something to add to this?
I've gone over it, just, yeah. Just a site plan of where each building's located since you started.
If Tim's been out there a ton of times, if we were never made aware that it was needed to be updated or it would have been done. And I kind of feel a little blindsided up here
And
right now because it's a separate tax parcel.
it's,
So
So we came before the planning board for the wedding barn permit And we have not changed our hour. I'm sorry,
Probably,
Pauline Drexel, sorry.
Yeah.
We haven't changed the hours or anything of that. Those are private events. And they stop on weekend after Labor Day. It's only from May 15th until the weekend after Labor Day, and it's only one event a weekend. And we adhere to the town ordinance that asked us to have the music turn off at 10:30, and we've stayed with that. That's in the contract. By the time they clean up and leave, it's usually last night it was. So that, in their private events and not open to the public at that time. And this barn is for largely fall. And our hours haven't changed on that either. And it does not have road access. This is all internal.
so I guess I'm looking in that, when you say town ordinance of 10:30 for music,
Yeah. We
the
Came before-
town ordinance on sound, or is it
It-
based on somebody else's?
No, you guys made us come up with a bunch of rules for a wedding event at the farm years ago. And it was passed by the town, and it was 10:30, the music was off. That was a rule we had to pay a permit fee and everything else that ended up somewhat coming back, but that was by town agreement.
When was the wedding barn actually built?
2017.
2 years after this.
Well, the Harvest Barn was built then, but the barn we originally started having weddings in was built in 2012.
Right, which is the barn that this site plan was based on, right?
Which is now your training.
That's the pumpkin barn.
It's a
Serves a lot of functions, but it's called the pumpkin barn.
Okay, so if we can get a plan, okay, restate those agreements. But here we are talking about different barns with different names and labels. Can we get them updated so everybody's referring
Yes,
to the same?
not a
thing
problem.
At the same time.
Not a problem at all.
No. I mean, the bottom line is, they should have come back when that new barn was refocused for weddings instead of what was approved in this original site plan approval.
It wasn't even built for weddings, so that's the thing. That's not why we built it.
Right, but that's what you're doing there now, though, right?
But then we also, it's primarily built for the fall activities. That was its primary purpose. It wasn't, it was winter storage and an indoor space for a jump pad. Like that was the and for Christmas trees, when we were selling Christmas trees, it's a great spot to store them undercover so they don't get buried in snow. That was the original plan. Weddings had nothing to do with the picture when we first built that barn.
Right.
And it was kind of like okay. And we were under the impression, since we'd already been approved for weddings at the other barn, that was, and if anybody, like, again, it's difficult at times to get the town to come out and look at things when you request them to. And so had we been made aware that this was a necessary inspection or what have you, we absolutely would have done it. We're in no position to attempt to deceive the town in any way. But I feel like, I mean, we built that almost 10 years ago now. I feel like somebody could have said something before now. I mean, this is,
If we were wrong.
yeah,
It's, say, from the planning board perspective, is that we're here to uphold the codes. We're not the ones to have to go out to the places. That's not our job. So, I'll deep breath.
Well, and honestly, even codes, I mean, it's, you know, we expect people to come back to us when they make a change that's substantial, which this is substantial, you know?
I didn't realize that the purpose of the building was relevant enough to be as something that falls under codes. Like we pulled
We don't
permits for
build-
every little building. We've done every little lean-to, every little, everything we've ever built has had a permit pull.
But if the public are going in there as part of your events, that's something that codes needs to be aware of and, that we need to be aware of.
But they are, like, we don't build a building that the public isn't,
Well, you just said the building was originally built for storage and.
and fall activities.
Okay, well, but again, that's a change. you know,
That's,
From what was approved.
that's not a,
No,
it's not a change. The original purpose of the building was a jump pad that people would be,
We can agree to disagree, but at this point, we can just get a map, an updated
Yep.
map
absolutely can, no problem.
of what the buildings are labeled, okay? Keep up, everybody's in agreement with the conditions that were given back in
Oh, that's 2015.
15. If everybody's in agreement with those,
Yes.
and back with an updated map for us of what's where on the entire site, even though it may be on two parcels, but it all has to do with occupancy site plan.
Yeah.
Other comments? Yes.
No.
As far as location of proposed barns, that's conditioned to any setback. Actually, from this, where's the powder cell line? And do you have the proper setback from the side, that parcel?
what was,
You know,
You know where the line is?
the lot line, because he says it's on a separate parcel, and then just double
it's
check.
just off the end of the hardest one. It is, it's on, it's just, I don't know
It's
exactly.
probably by the ballpark at 50, 60 feet off the property line.
Off the side.
Yeah.
Already.
Off the line,
South.
the center line between the two parcels.
So it's 50 or 60 feet south of the property line. Or-
Just to avoid of, we're gonna put the barn here, and then it's right on the line,
That's,
Yeah.
no, I get it. That I get, that I can understand.
That I've seen,
That's,
yeah, that I've seen,
that makes sense to me.
I don't look at, that's our land, we'll put it, and then, oh, there's a line there.
Right, line through the middle of the barn doesn't really pan out.
Said it's been a week already.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Next up on the agenda, Heritage Hill Brew House and Palladino Farm site plan review. Preliminary review of the site plan to allow for the affirmation of right vibes consistent with prior year in a farm use barn located at 3149 Sweet Road in the town of Pompey. Tax map ID 018.004-15.1. Good evening, Dan.
Thanks, Sue. Dan Palladino, Heritage Hill and Palladino Farms. My brother Nick is back there too, in case he needs to answer anything. So just the previously proposed festival, which was in line with 2023 prior to it being canceled due to weather, was for a 2-day festival, which is what we were doing that year. And we've decided to avoid all of the potential hurdles of trying to pull that off by July. And once Tim has informed us what the requirements were from the last site plan review, to go back to what it was in 2022, which is a 1-day festival, camping for that night. We will have had to cancel the National Act, just so everybody's aware that did cost $3,500. I'm going to have Mike Powell and Isaac French play. They will be inside the barn on Saturday. So, and I'll adhere to the other typical requirements that were dictated by the last site plan review for Saturday. For Friday, it'll be just like 2022. We put in there to sell up to 4,000 tickets. We're not going to sell 4,000 tickets. Last time we had it was somewhere between 1,200 and 1,500. We have the ability to. There's plenty of space, there's plenty of parking. And so, but we have the right to, it doesn't fall under New York State mass gathering requirements until 5,000. So 4,000 gives us really good leeway for everybody else that's on site. I'll give you a map with where the porta johns are, where the camping is. We don't advertise any services, but we do provide potable water and bathrooms and hand wash station. The last time we had it, it was a wonderful festival. The type of music is Americana folk, indie folk, it's called. It's nice. We have a stage. It's going to point towards the barn. My sound engineer, we did a full walkthrough last fall and testing. And know that sound, the way that we face the stage towards the hillside, be absorbed primarily by the hillside, doesn't mean you won't hear it. Like you're going to hear it, but shouldn't be annoying to anybody. Our goal is not to annoy anybody. The goal is just to have a successful show. So that's what we want to do this year. And in addition to that, sounds similar to Springside, but we wanted to build a 24 by 32, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's what I had in the application, a little barn for just our small animals, the donkeys, the goats, and birds and pigs. And I'll have hay storage, no public access. I'll actually have signs on it, no public access. So there's really not going to be any room for public access. And from there, the animals will just pasture out up to rough hillside that was behind the Quonset barn and that hasn't been used, and be nice to utilize that beautiful space. So it doesn't affect any of our egresses, anything like that. It's not on a driveway, it's off of it. So we would like to be able to have that approved because it doesn't involve any access to the public, and we need to have the space for the animals because they've outgrown the small little barn that we have, and it's better care for the animals. So I'm hoping that we can have an administrative review of that, since it is a complete agriculture business. We are a farm. We produce our own beef cattle, produce our own hay. So that is the basic application.
I guess point of clarification, you said Mike Powell, who's the other?
Isaac French. Yep.
You said they were going to be inside the barn, but then you referred to a stage. What were that stage?
The stage is for Friday night, for the bands on Friday night. Those are the ones that is consistent with what we did in 2022. And then we'll have 3 bands, or I'm sorry, Friday night will only be 2 bands. And that's during that site plan review, it was my understanding that the special events that we had were exempt from the requirements of the that were dictated by the site plan. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to have that. So, and this one is exactly like what we had before. And we're no longer holding the Empire Farm Days because the business that was doing it decided to not do it. And we still have our, Hot Air Balloon Festival and anniversary party. But Yeah, so I didn't expect, like I didn't in 2022 to have a decibel limitation, although it's my belief that it will still fall in there, but a 20-mile-an-hour wind coming out of the east could change it for one person. I don't know. But the goal is to not annoy the neighbors. The goal is to live in harmony with everybody. I feel that we've been doing that. I feel we've been following what we agreed to. We finished all the things. We changed all our lights. We, followed all the policies and procedures that we were asked to do. So just hoping that this can be administrative since it doesn't change at all from what we did previously.
That one you had two separate brands on a Friday
We had
night.
we had three bands.
Friday night.
Yeah.
So when will campers be allowed to start coming in?
So the grounds will open at 3 o'clock on Friday.
Friday night, Saturday night.
Not Saturday. Yeah, we're not doing, I wasn't going to offer 2 nights because Saturday now is more like just a regular operational day for Heritage Hill. So I don't anticipate the people that stay Friday night, are gonna stay. So I wasn't gonna offer that for Saturday night.
So the hours of music on Saturday will be,
It'll be within our typical operational hours, but TBD because all these like just drastically changed and got notifications to the bands and stuff. So I'm still working on ironing that out. But it won't be any later than what our, allowable hours are. Again, that's inside the barn, but until 10 o'clock is what we agreed to, and it's more than enough for us. But in any of our events, it really has been, so.
These 2 acts. Isaac are considered part of the Bright Vibes or
No, because I'm not gonna be able to sell tickets like that. I'm just trying to avoid. There are 2 local artists. Well, you guys know Mike Paul, right? Anyway, so I'm just trying to avoid, like, lack of a better term, screwing them, right? So just have something normal that we would inside. Because I've had Mikey Powell play up there, I think 4 or 5 times. He plays inside the barn and it's beautiful. So it's good enough. His cost is not that high, so I don't need to sell lots of tickets to recoup the cost. We don't need that stage, so it won't be outdoors, and I don't need all the people that manage that. So, people might sit out there and stuff like that, but I don't anticipate it being, we'll keep it within the limits. The tickets will be limited to our current capacity from our site plan.
just trying to track it through because based on the camping, they said that basically one night, but that music goes through later. They may find some people still here, just point of clarification.
Well, I mean, then maybe it's best to say probably for the site plan review, so as to avoid that, let me learn from my past mistakes, 2 nights of camping. But I don't plan on actively promoting that because I don't really need it or want it because it's a completely different situation. But at max, it would be 2 nights of camping, right? So,
Or it's a color online.
hey, yeah, I can send you that. I don't have it saved, unfortunately. I are black and white too.
That basically,
At stage, yeah. If you don't mind coming up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, it's a stage, it'd be right there. We'll fence it. You want to control people from the tickets. Parking there and parking there, and you just, basically all your operational things are here. We will let vendors over here, no vehicles, because that's our septic, but
what kind of vendor?
which is like craft vendors.
How many years did you have?
Well, that one, we had about 50 breweries, but we're not doing that like that. We're not making it a beer festival. We're gonna have a Taste of New York section. Right now, I've got like 5 breweries that have said that they're coming, and I got 2 distilleries, 1911 cidery. So I'd say probably about 20 of them over there, so around that. Basically, again, the same thing as what it was before, and the campers would be right. Yeah, right there, yeah.
Porta John's here too.
It's best I found to not group them together, but spread them out a little bit.
And in consideration, where's the barn that you want to build?
Oh, I actually got, actually, I'll just show you right on that first. Yeah. Yeah, so it's right. It's right here. It's like that 24 by 32, I think. So just facing like that. Yeah. Won't go on that. It's just rehousing the animals that are currently over at the Y, in the overflow parking lot. They're right there. It's just putting them in a better place that we can get water to them, get into the tractor, and safer for all the people that were congregating over in that.
We'll get the buildings to shelter, right?
Yeah, shelter for hay and hay and animals. Like I said, it'll have signs on it. It's not intended, no public roads.
No water connection to it or anything.
We will try to run water up to a automatic water for the animals, that's heated. So, I mean, that's all gonna be their year-round shelter. So, yeah, if we want to have water in there, we'll have lights for them. It is located within proximity to all that electronics that we put in for the septic system. So it's just a quick run of power right from there right to the barn. So it's a pretty handy place for us because of everything else we've done. And you can get to with the tractor easy from the farm road.
Yeah, because on question 10, you said there was no water. Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be a dry hydrant if it's gonna be just outside the barn.
Yeah, so it won't be plumbed up from the bottom. It's right. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I did, Tim, that second, the last one that I sent you, I didn't bring anything. I'm sorry, I was dealing with something before I came in and I wasn't able to get prepared, but it's the last letter that I sent to the codes. And just said exactly what we did and that's not
So the vendors will just be there Friday?
yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna, that reduced the number of them that would be there, the bigger day would have been Saturday. The problem was the most costly band and the most expensive to have canceled would have been Friday nights. So I'm trying to reduce the economic hit on me from it. So I'm going with keeping Friday nights and canceling Saturdays, keeping the other two guys and just having a normal day on Saturday.
No fireworks.
No fireworks. And honestly, I mean, I put that in, that was something the New York Brewers Association wanted, but I would do fireworks for this anyways. We are enough people to have enough spots to watch them for free, so. Do very well.
So when you did this in 22, you got music run until 10 now. but you're getting rid of your traffic control and your ambulance service at night.
So I just simply said that it would be within our normal operating hours, but the band is scheduled to end at 9 o'clock.
Okay,
On
it's
Friday.
scheduled to end at-
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Good, okay.
But there's always like, they're packing up and they got music playing or something, so I'm just keeping at 10 o'clock,
Okay,
everything's
so,
put
yeah,
up.
okay, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
If the band is ending at 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in your narrative. The event consists, maybe in 22, I had 3, but it says the event consists of 3 bands on the outdoor stage Friday evening. Clarifying 2. Somewhere in that time frame, that one band would be like 3, 1 shift and a little break, and then
Yeah, and then they just, I just play music over the speakers, yeah. And they don't play, I mean, honestly, it won't end up being 3 hours of live music because they don't play that long. Yeah. Usually the opening one plays like for 45 minutes and the other guy plays for an hour and 15 and that's it, so. But I'm just keeping it within that block just in case.
is one thing I keep coming back to, Dan. It's not possible for this nature to commit to a decimal limitation.
Not until, so last time I didn't measure it.
Yeah.
Like the band has a requirement for playing their sets, right? And so you can't go up and tell them right now. Now, this year, I can go and measure it, know exactly where we're at, and then say, okay, this is what it's gonna be. It may be below 65. So I just don't, but I don't know, and I can't do with this band, I can't like commit that and then.
Well, and the stage location too, the stage location's different, and so who knows?
And we're gonna put like a little bit of like an art wall up and kind of like a little ring with plywood boards and stuff like that. So people can just like paint art on it and stuff like that. It's that kind of festival. And that helps kind of push everything towards the barn and into the hillside rather than out and around. We're coming up with ideas just to make it, I don't think it will hit that, but all the measurement that I've done for the past year, when I go out and I get on that decibel reader and I've asked him and I've sent him the files and I've videotaped it with my son's phone from holding mine, so you knew that I wasn't, I get past, you get just down to the bottom of that hill and I'm at 55, 60, and I'm not saying that something doesn't happen where it can blow over. But birds fly over and it spikes. So I've been trying, I don't have to go very far out for it to not do that. So I would be shocked if it was, but I can't, I'm just saying I can't commit to that, but I can monitor it this year and come back next year and say, hey, look, it's without a doubt, we can be within this range. So everybody knows and everybody knows what to expect. That's what I'm hoping to do this year. So.
You mentioned the wall. Where's that wall where you come off the part of the stage?
Oh, just off the stage. Yeah, just kind of off the stage. Like, yeah, think of like 4 like 8-foot plywood sheets going each way. Yeah. Because the only thing that's behind there is just the people. Yeah. And people, the band getting ready and stuff like that. And then camping and then the cars. So there's a lot of sound absorption right there.
But then for Saturday, you could commit that you will stay within the 65?
Yeah, it's inside. That's never a problem. I tell the bands, like I said, play me your loudest song on sound check right now. And then I go out and I check it, you know, and that's with the garage doors open too. So, like I said, I right hand swear every time I've ever tested, I've been below it, or I've not gotten off of my property line before it dropped below it. But not saying anybody else hasn't seen anything different.
I guess I keep coming back, it'd be possible to commit to a decibel limitation, but if you've agreed to a 65.
So
It's there, so I guess my question is that, okay, the sound check, you go around and, okay, it's under 65, okay, that's great. If it's over, that's your chances to come back and say, okay, you gotta tone it down a little bit here. That's where the level.
So this is a different animal when you have national band, right? Stremellas are well known and they have, so they dictate the equipment and everything like that and all of that. It's not like Isaac French or Mike Powell playing. So I can't say that because, and the other thing is I don't personally feel, but when we said the exception of the events, you know, I would have pushed back much harder if I thought the only exception to the events was the number of cars. You know, we didn't say that we didn't even say that. We just said, you know, we're allowed to. So, all right, what we did say was I'm allowed to have the events the same way that they were. This is the same way it was, right? And I wasn't subjected to a decibel limit on that. So I'm not going to agree today to that because I don't feel that it's required and I don't know, and I don't want to get myself in trouble. And I'm just being honest because I commit to monitoring it and I commit to doing the best that I can do, but I don't know that I can do it. And I got myself in trouble up here at this podium before, and I'm not doing it anymore. So I'm going to tell you what I can do and what I can't do. And so I'm just asking to approve the event exactly the same way we did it before. And I will be monitoring it and making sure that we're being good neighbors with doing it.
So, for the record, what was the date that we approved the site plan?
That's, I guess, but I think that's about this coming place. It's coming.
So the site plan was dated April 26, 2023,
It would have been August 2023. We approved the site plan.
and the bright lights was in 22,
Yeah,
that you actually held.
that was actually held, yeah.
Time flies when you're-
Yeah, that's what it is.
You're fine.
Yeah, at this point.
Yeah, this is.
You got any?
And you need to get a special liquor license for the event. Event license.
So I don't have to get a special event license because it's on my property, and the vendors that I have, like the liquor vendors, all the ones that I sell and can sell because they're New York State. So it's all part of my liquor license, and they're not selling. So they're only sampling and only I am selling. I overheard you mention the health department. They always show up. They show up to Pompey Country Fest, so they always show up, but
Here's. I was whispering.
trying to make sure it's good. My permit allows me, I have a full catering permit, which increases my number of inspections, and that's why they inspect my events and stuff like that. But so that'll be there. Anything other food I have would be food trucks, and they have their own permits.
Almost two. Yeah.
May I ask a follow-up question on that? Um, so you're gonna vote on them separately, or you're gonna push the barn off?
Vote on them separate.
Okay, all right, understood.
It's this for
Yeah, it's a type two. He's requested it, so you can just say it's, you know, either way, if you're acting on it saying this is, you know, approved, and we don't need to do secret on it, it's a type two, but.
Okay. I would think he just needs a permit, building permit.
So it's just established for the record because of how the app came in.
Also an accurate map showing where that barn is on the location, please. And did you hear any? No. If you answered the questions, tonight, it'd be public hearing.
So it's not an administrative review, it requires a public hearing? According to the site plan, it was administrative if it didn't change.
So
I'd rely on Amelia, but I guess my feeling is because it's after the other one was before the original, or before the site plan approval. This is the first one since the site plan approval, so it's kind of a square one in my mind. I mean, even, we don't even know what the sound is gonna be like. So that would be, like I said, I'd rely on Amelia for that.
So we can only really use the language that's in the resolution. So it says, so I'm looking in paragraph 1 at the bottom of paragraph 1. It says, after the first of any singular event, if the exact same event is proposed in subsequent years, the planning board may, in its reasonable discretion, not require site plan review, but may refer the request for the event to the code enforcement officer or for administrative review and permit. So as far as if the intention was that the first of the events would have happened after this, or if it was an event that had happened previously, we could, for guidance, it would say here, an example of a special event would be Empire State Farm Days, which had previously been held on site. So you could say that if this has previously been held on site, then it falls under that treatment. But we're kind of working with the language and what the intent of the board was when they passed the resolution.
So my whole point of canceling that ban and incurring that cost was that this could get passed as administrative review and not have to incur the risk of what could come down the pipe. That's what my assumption was. So that's kind of a surprise to me because nothing has changed.
I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session, citing pending litigation.
Seconded.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, make note that we're going into executive session, we will return.
We don't.
Bad.
Return.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's return, yeah.
An actual motion.
Yeah. Yeah,
second.
and then, yeah.
Motion for the executive session to end. John seconded it, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Welcome back, 7:58. Okay, so talking through everything that was presented to us and looking back at prior site plan and from when Bright Vibes was held in 2022, Dan.
Mhm.
Our feeling and discussion is that to claim based on one that was held in 22, okay, if you're saying that it's the exact same event as Bright Vibes in 2022,
Mhm.
and we passed the site plan in August of 23. If you can commit to 65 or less in decibels, and that is in the site plan of 23, we will refer this to Tim for administrative review and permit. With that, we would say that the barn at that point is type 2 action, and you could amend the site plan with Tim to show the location of the barn because it's not going to fundamentally change. We just want to know where that barn is on your site plan. If you feel that you cannot commit to the 65 decibel, then we'll see you next month for a site plan public hearing.
Okay, so I can't because that's not how it was in 2022. So like, in my opinion, goes against what our site plan was. Did not have a decibel limit in 2022, so it wasn't measured, wasn't anything, so can't do that. And this could, just so everybody's aware, could really put me in a significant financial hit. But that being said, I'll accept that. Does that mean that I can then file, pull out the barn and just file a building permit as a class 2? Okay, for, or like a permit for the barn as an agriculture barn? Yeah, I described it, that's all it's going to be.
We still want it on the site plan map, but it would be an amendment.
Okay, so if that's, so, all right, so that being said, so then I got something else, so, and I've gone through this all with Tim, and he wanted me to discuss it today as well. So I want to, focus our business more on agritourism activities. I want to put in a corn maze. I want to have a slide and then just fun little attractions. They're typical, anything you would expect at Springside, Tim's Pumpkin Patch, anything like that. It's how, with everything else going on and what I've gone through the past 3 years, that I see the way that my business can succeed and make it here in Pompey. I have, you know, a map that I would like to submit when I submit that. If we're going to do that, then I'd rather add that to it because this shouldn't result in any permanent structures. And so I want to just put that forward because in my opinion, it's very easy. It's very simple, maybe not simple, but I'll put a whole thing out. So I will get that to you. But I'm thankful to be able to at least move forward on the barn. But yeah, I'll submit another letter on Bright Vibes side. So that would be a public hearing next month. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Any other questions? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
With that. I second it. Further discussion? None? All in favor?
We have Lady Farm with that. Have anything with this?
Oh. Yeah. But do you agree?
Oh.
Do I get ayes?
Aye.
Everybody opposed? Motion carries, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.